Hey, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Welcome. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Kurt, good to see you. Welcome. Lane, good to see you. Sacramento, welcome. Terry from Vancouver, welcome. If you wouldn't mind, let me know if audio and visual is okay. I would appreciate it. I didn't do that blurred background on purpose, and I wonder how that even happened. Oh, there we go. You can do that now. There you go. What else can I do here? Let's see. I can put some bricks behind me. Oh man, it's so funny. I've never played with this. I'm gonna have to get some fun backgrounds and mess with it. From now on, every new office hours call will have a new background to go with it. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lane. Appreciate it. Welcome to Office Hours. I hope you've had a great week. Hello. Welcome. And we will get this show on the road here. If you are new to Office Hours is pure Q&A, so I don't have any agenda other than to answer questions and try my best to be helpful. So you can post questions in the comments. I'm also going to go to our Moguls group, which is our paid mastermind, and look for questions from our members there as well. And then finally, I'm also going to put in a link inside here in the comments. Will be a StreamYard link. You can see it. It looks like this. You can use that link to come on camera here and we can have a conversation. So if you've got a question that's more in depth, takes longer to explain, more back and forth, need to screen share, anything like that, then you can come and join me on camera there. Okay. Hello, everyone. Carlos, good. Awesome. Gary, great. Awesome. Welcome. Good to have you here. What kind of booze is that back there? That is a variety of things. Actually, my bar has shrunk considerably. I used to have quite a robust bar, but I don't drink that often anymore. So got just the bare necessities in case somebody comes over and we want to have a little bit of a cocktail hour, that type of thing. All right, a couple things here. Before we get started with Q&A, and feel free to fire in your questions, I have an experience this last 3 weeks that I want to share with you that I think can be helpful for many of you in terms of your expectations in developing new business. So if you are just starting your agency or just starting some new form of outreach or ad campaigns, things like that, one of the things that I consistently hear from people is that they tried something and didn't work, and so they stopped. And I will hear, it makes me smile a little bit, but then mostly it kind of makes my blood boil a little bit when I'll see somebody, post a comment on one of my YouTube videos like, ads don't work, cold calling doesn't work, posting content doesn't work. Because whoever that person is attempted one of those things and it didn't work. And so now they are on, a public forum declaring that thing does not work. Right. And it drives me nuts because in almost every single case, when you dig into a little bit, you'll find that person, made 100 cold calls and then decided cold calling doesn't work, sent 200 emails and then decided email doesn't work, spent $10 on ads, decided ads don't work, right? So it's the mindset, unfortunately, is killing their opportunities for success before they ever get started. For anybody who has ever played poker or blackjack, at a table in Vegas, this is the equivalent of sitting down at the table with their last $5 and then being shocked that they didn't, win, right? The casinos just ripped them off. They didn't win. You're going into it with completely the wrong mindset. You don't have, you just don't have an approach that is set up for success. And so I want to use a recent example of some ad campaigns that I'm running. I have spent millions of dollars on Facebook ads over the course of my career. And when I say I have spent millions of dollars, I don't mean that I hired an agency to run ads for me. I mean that I have personally sat down at my computer, launched ads, spent my own money north of 7 figures. Okay. So I say that just to stress that I have a pretty good amount of experience doing that. This latest campaign, this set of campaigns that I'm running, testing out a new market, things like that, right? So, but in an area that I'm very, very well versed in, so I understand the market and the message and all that good stuff, generally speaking. Just in the last 3 days, have I hit on an ad that is really finally getting the cost per lead that I want and generating the number of leads that I think it should, getting the click-through rate that I believe it should. So that's just happened in the last, it's been like 4 days now, over close to 30 days of experimentation. In that 30 days of experimentation, I have recorded 15 different videos, edited those videos, put 5 different variations of copy to each of those videos, and invested thousands of dollars to get to the point where I found this ad that's working. And so I just want to stress that, because it's so important that everybody understands that whatever you're doing, whatever channel you're deciding that you're going to use, whether it's ad, cold email outreach, cold calling, any of these things can and do work. But you have got to understand that it takes experimentation and just continuous learning and refinement. I mean, I've now found this winning ad, but that's now just the start of a whole nother process. Right now, okay, I've got some messages that are working. I've now got to refine that, test variations of that. I've now got to create variations of the creative to kind of protect it so that I don't have just one thing running out there and then, people are going to see it too many times, get burnt out on it. It's going to lose its effectiveness very quickly. So it's just the start of this continuous ongoing process of experimentation, learning, refinement, accepting that a percentage of my budget is always going to be invested in losers, right? That are just not going to work. That's my experimentation budget that I have to put into that. And this is the mindset that you have to have. And again, I don't care what channel it is. When I was cold calling heavily, okay, we would make 300 cold calls in a day using the tools that you can use to accelerate, the calling process. We would follow a specific script for a week. So we're talking, a couple thousand calls, that type of thing. And then we would study how is that specific language. We would track the metrics to see how is that specific language working versus the prior week when we tried a different language in that script, and see if there was any statistical difference. And we would do that for each of the phases of our calls. We would do that for our introductory call. We would do it for our objection rebuttals. We would do it for our exploratory consultative call where we're actually trying to get, to the point of making a sale. Like, we would do that for each of those things. We would, when we had a good size, sales team, compare how one salesperson was doing with script A at this point in the process versus other people at script A at that point in the process. And we would look for statistical outliers. And then if there was a statistical outlier, We'd listen to the recordings of the person delivering that to see how it differed from the other salespeople, to know, okay, look, he's doing this differently than you are. You guys all need to practice this, doing it that way, because your stats are going to jump. He's kicking your butt. Whatever approach that it is that you're taking, you need to make a commitment to it. And you need to understand that that commitment involves all kinds of testing, all kinds of experimentation, learning, frustration, thinking that you've got the thing that's going to work and then it doesn't work at all. That is all just part of the game. The only thing that ensures your failure is stopping. When you stop, whether it's ads, cold calling, anything like that, you lose all momentum. And let's say you take 2 weeks off. That 2 weeks off is now thousands of people that you didn't reach. That is going to show up as a dry spell in your pipeline in the future. Let's call it 60 to 90 days in the future. You're going to have 2 weeks now where you've got no action going on, nobody coming into your pipeline interested in business, because you've just stopped forward progress. That is the only thing that you cannot do. Okay? So I just hope that that helps you just understand and accept the mindset that you have got to just commit and go for it. And if you are thinking of doing anything new, anything that you have not personally done before. So I, again, have lots of experience doing Facebook ads. If you're saying, hey, Mike, I'm gonna do the Facebook ads strategy, and I've never done Facebook ads, you need to add, at the bare minimum, expect that you're going to be doing that for months before you feel like, okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. I'm starting to get a little rhythm, starting to understand what works, what doesn't, how to set things up correctly. That's just the nature of it. And so if you're committing to anything less than that, you are just shooting yourself in the foot. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for listening to my rant. I will get down off my soapbox now. This is the grind. Absolutely. Yes, I have training on ads and STS. Yes, it's called the Attention Engine, is the primary ad training product that I have in there. And you also have that's a separate product. You also have that inside of High Leverage Agency. So Reed, the funny thing about ads is when you create ads and copy, it's almost never the one you pick that performs the best. It never is. It never is. I do this all the time. We talked about this on the last office hours, actually. Anytime I'm running ads, I always try to guess which one is going to win. And I'm almost always wrong. It's unbelievable. Even after all this time of doing this, I'm almost always wrong. So yeah, you've got to be humble. You've got to test, and you've got to just expect that that's what's going to take. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump into moguls here real quick. Let me go ahead and share my screen. You guys can see what I'm looking at. And then I will come back to comments here and look for any questions there. Okay, so let's see what we got. We've got travel tourism. There's Rich Adler. Hey, Rich, travel tourism directory platform question. We have a new travel tourism related directory site, very non-competitive, Virgin Islands. We are seeking to transfer the entirety of everything over to Go High Level. It appears as though you use ThemeForce WordPress event Champ theme. Do you simply integrate into Go High Level? Yeah, so Rich, I do not recommend that you expect to transfer any of that to High Level. So High Level, as amazing as it is, and it is amazing, that doesn't mean that it can do everything, right? And there's honestly no reason to expect, there's no reason that you need to migrate that to High Level, because High Level will interface with it perfectly. It interface, integrate, whatever you want to call it, with it perfectly. So as an example, if you're doing anything that is a WordPress site, which it sounds like you are, so on that WordPress site, HighLevel has a WordPress plugin that you can activate that plugin on your WordPress site. And what that's going to do is going to make essentially all the key features of HighLevel that you would want on that website are now just going to be very, very easy to integrate into that site. So you can publish funnel pages, you can publish website pages, you can, obviously with very simple drops of code, you can add opt-in forms, you can add chat widget, you can put the call tracking number on there. So really anything, you can embed reviews. Whatever you want to do, all of that can be done while you maintain the WordPress platform for your media site or directory site, which that's good to do because it's got its own unique capabilities that are designed specifically for what you're doing with it. So take advantage of that. It's got, whatever best in class features that you're looking for to help you with that aspect of your business, and then just integrate the components of HighLevel that you want to integrate. So that's exactly what we're doing there, San Diego. There, San Diego is still just, it's on WordPress. It's always been on WordPress. And I anticipate it always will be on WordPress. Okay. Rich, I hope that helps you. I'll make sure we get a link in here to the call so you can review this. Okay. Jesse Riggins, welcome Jesse, says thoughts on reputation management. In my recent discussion with SMBs, I'm finding that reputation management resonates better with them than AI offerings, even when I try to avoid the use of AI. I also find myself drawn to the offering. I've watched the interviews with you and Clay, but wanted to get your current thoughts on reputation management as a foot in the door, or maybe even a core offering with perhaps an eventual upsell to AI team later. Awesome. So Jesse, I think that reputation management is fantastic. So if you want to lead with that, I think it's great. Can you make it your core offer? Yes, I think you can absolutely make it your core offer, just like Clay has. I think Clay knows at this point that he is leaving a lot of money on the table by only offering reputation management. And I expect that he's going to expand his service offering. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with starting with that for sure. If that's where you're comfortable and that's where the people that you're talking to, are kind of resonating with you, that's fantastic. There's absolutely nothing wrong. It's a very, very valuable service. The only reason I've ever hesitated on recommending that in the past, Jesse, is just that reputation has been one of the most known, most established service offerings in the agency world for 10 plus years now. And so there is a decent amount of competition out there. That being said, there's also plenty of opportunity, because you go look at 95% of small business websites and they're still not taking advantage of the reputation capabilities that you could bring to them. You take a look at their Google My Business listings, or any other number of places where they could be optimizing around reputation reviews. It's not there. Also, I have to say, Jesse, that if you take a more expansive view of what impacts reputation, which I highly recommend that you do, it's not just reviews. Maybe you start with reviews, okay? But reputation in today's world is impacted by way more than just reviews, okay? It is, do you have an up-to-date social presence? Are you posting content? Do you have a website that looks at all modern and current? Does it load fast? Is it optimized for mobile, right? Can I reach you? Can I get a response from somebody at the business? These are all things that dramatically impact a business's reputation. It's not just reviews, okay? So you can then, once you have your foot in the door there, you could still stay in that reputation arena and expand your services in ways that start to really bring in and incorporate other aspects of your services. So up to you on how you want to approach that, but I think it's absolutely fine. And Clay is proof. Okay. And there's Jesse right here. Cool. Think of a hyperlocal to start with on reputation management. Maybe that's the same, Jesse. I don't know if it is or not. I'm thinking of hyperlocal to start on reputation management, and yes, with upsells to all the things you mentioned. Okay, cool. Awesome, Jesse. Good. No, I think that that's fantastic. It is a needed, it is a very, very important service. And in spite of all the competition that's out there, it's obviously still not saturated because there are so many businesses out there that still need help. Okay. All right, let me go back here. I'm going to just check this. A couple more questions over here. Okay, actually, I answered that last week. Okay, so those are older questions. So I answered those already. Cool. Awesome. Back to the folks in the comments here. All right, I don't see any questions in the comments, gang. So if you have any, put them in there. Otherwise, we'll stare at each other awkwardly here for a few minutes. Because I don't have an agenda. I will tell you actually some exciting news. I'm going to give you a little hint of some exciting news. And then I'm going to get you all the details here really in the next week. Okay. So you're hearing this first time this has been discussed publicly at all, but I am super excited about it for our community, for our customers only. Specifically, those of you in high leverage agency in moguls, I am going to have a very, very special guest working with you for 5 or 6 weeks here coming up, who has, let's say, generated $750 million in sales. Okay, $750 million in sales, selling software and selling to small businesses. So to say that this guy has the knowledge and experience to help you take your business to a totally different level is an understatement. And I am thrilled to be able to bring him to you all. And I'm thrilled at what he's putting together for you. So that's a little sneak preview that is coming up. That is for my customers, my community. So that's incentive, obviously, for anybody who is thinking about joining our community, signing up for HighLevel through us and taking advantage of our bonuses. This is going to be an incredible part of that. So I hope you'll take full advantage of that. And hey, why not, while we're doing a little plug, servicesthatscale.com/HighLevel bonus. You can go there and check out all the details of what we have to offer for anybody who signs up for HighLevel through us. You get all of this bonus training and support and the special training from the gentleman that I was just referring to coming up. All of that is part of that bonus. You do not have to sign up through HighLevel to get access to that. You can also just join High Leverage Agency directly, join Moguls directly. Those are both options for you as well. So you've got options, but I like to share with you the HighLevel version because that is absolutely the most affordable way to get all those benefits. Okay. Lane says, new to HighLevel. Awesome, Lane. Congratulations. Do you have straight up trainers for hire so I can learn one-on-one online recorded screen Zoom sessions with me clicking at your directions, basic services to sell and get quick know-how? Lane, no, we do not do a one-on-one. But what you can do is come to our Launchpad sessions, this is the exact type of thing that we cover. And we have videos and we have somebody live on a call with you that will walk you through any place that you're stuck or you have questions or anything like that. And it's very, very small group format. So, we'll have 10 people on a call at a time, that type of thing. So that is our Launchpad. That is part of our HighLevel bonus. Okay. So if you're new to HighLevel, if you sign up through us, you have access to that. If you did not sign up through us, you can upgrade your HighLevel account and get access to that for free and join us in there. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. And I really, really don't believe that you will need to hire one-on-one anything if you take advantage of that service and our team in there. Because if you have any questions about how to execute anything, you jump into that call and my team will bend over backwards to help you. Okay. Can you discuss the logistics of customer reactivation? I know that's usually a part of reputation management. Yeah, customer reactivation is a fancy term for reach back out to your past customers, right? So, and I know I'm understating it, but when you say the logistics of it, I mean that's pretty much all it is. So the great thing about doing reactivation as a service is that most small businesses have done nothing to keep in touch with their past customers. Okay, so I mean, if you think about like living here in San Diego, doing what I do, I am out buying from just about every kind of small business. It seems like all day, every day, right? I'm shopping at stores, I'm going to restaurants, going to bars, you know, doing all the things. Just it's part of my job and part of my lifestyle and all that. There's a very small handful of any of those businesses that I receive any communication from after being a customer. It's a very, very small percentage. So the far majority of small businesses are just not collecting that customer information and then following up and making any sort of offer, any sort of reminder that they exist and they would love to have you back into their business. So it's really as simple as that. And that's why the service can be just so darn effective. If you have a list of 1,000 customers that you've never reached out to, and let's just say that those were generally happy customers, though, they enjoy the experience of whatever it was that you did for them or offered them, and you reach out to those 1,000 customers and just say, hey, we'd love to see you back again. Here's a special offer to come back in, or here's our newest product that you probably haven't heard of yet, or whatever it is, you're going to get a good response because those are happy past customers and they haven't heard from you. So it's as simple as you can just put together an email campaign and send it out the door. You could do that with SMS as well. You just have to be careful and make sure that those people have opted in, you know, to use their number for marketing purposes, so you don't get into trouble. But that's pretty much it. It's quite simple. And then so Jesse says, I mean, for SMBs that may use a different CRM or just have customers on their phone, then you just take that information and put it into HighLevel. So you take that information, put it into HighLevel. Now, in that case, so Jesse, it is important that you understand that if they are not using HighLevel at all yet, you definitely need to warm up that account some. Okay, so if this is going to be like brand new use of HighLevel for these campaigns, you can't just drop 5,000 names in there and then just start blasting 5,000 names at a time. Okay, you could drop 5,000 names in there and then start with, you know, day one, send it to 15 people, and day two, send it to another 15 people, you know, do that for a little bit and then crank that up to, you know, 50 people. So just keep the numbers relatively modest for a little bit and test your messages during those early days to make sure that whatever you're sending is getting a generally positive response. It's not getting people like responding and going, hey, who the hell is this, right? So make sure that you're using the name of the business very clearly. Make sure it's very clear how they can opt out from those messages. Make sure that whatever you're sending them and offering them is something that they're actually, you know, should hopefully be excited to hear from you about, right? So just try and make that experience as positive as possible. You can take a multi-step approach to this depending on the kind of business. So, you know, Rob Bailey, a good friend of mine who is, you know, kind of the king of these kinds of campaigns, he would always use this like multi-step approach, but he was working primarily with specific types of businesses like gyms or medical service providers or whatever, where he would reach out with step one was just, you know, hey, it's personal trainer Mike, haven't seen you back in a while. I have some availability for some, you know, whatever, special VIP training sessions at a huge discount. Are you interested? Right? And then just get the response back on that before actually sending the offer. So he's getting a little bit of a micro commitment and a little bit of a conversation going before he's sending the offer. You can do that too. Yeah, I'll leave that to him. He's got much more experience than I do to say whether or not that's really that valuable versus just sending somebody an offer and just starting with that. Either way, I think is all good, but it's really as simple as that. Let's see here. Gary says, can you go into how to use Go HighLevel for helping tour guides in the islands? And how would you link payment if not US dollars? Oh, cool. Wow. So Gary, or Kirk, I should say, it sounds like you got some competition coming. So we actually have, just on this one call, multiple people that I know of that are related to tourism on islands. So that's pretty interesting. So there's a couple of things. How would you use Go HighLevel to help you? Wow. Well, I mean, there's endless ways. So, I mean, HighLevel is a Swiss Army knife of capabilities that small businesses need. So one, you should be running your own business using HighLevel so that you can market yourself, you can build your list, you can build your audience, keep in touch with people, keep in touch with prospects, all that good stuff. But also you can offer those same capabilities to the businesses on your island to help them do the same, right? So all of those businesses still need the same types of services that businesses anywhere need. They need to make sure that they're showing up when people search. They need to make sure that they can be contacted easily, that they're building their customer database and staying in touch with people. And I mean, all of those things matter for those businesses as well. I can say, I mean, I do a lot of traveling, and it's pretty obvious when you travel to a new place and you're looking for something to experience, whether that's a restaurant or whatever it is. It's pretty darn obvious the small handful of businesses that have actually optimized their presence to be found. And then those who haven't, right? And those who haven't, I mean, they probably miss out on 90% of the tourism dollars that are available to them, because everybody's going to the handful of places that have been well optimized and have this online reputation of that's the place to go, whether that's just on Google or TripAdvisor or any of those other, places, Instagram, right? So you could help a business using HighLevel with all of those capabilities. And then how would you link payment if not US dollars? I mean, HighLevel has worked to create payment options, international payment options. So that doesn't, I don't think that needs to be a roadblock for you at all. You just need to get in touch with HighLevel and just make sure you understand their options. Yeah, I think I answered this, but just to repeat it, you just want to start slow. So start with a very small percentage of the list. Make sure that your name is very, very clear, who the message is coming from, how they opt out if they don't want to hear from you anymore. And then just make sure that the message itself doesn't seem scammy at all, has value to them, right? So test those messages to make sure that you're generally getting a positive response before you go cranking up those numbers. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. As a participant of Launchpad, I cannot say enough good things about the program and the support from Joshua and the team. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much. That's great to hear. And I've got to say, and we have acknowledged this and admitted this, we screwed up and we left, I want to say it was close to 10 people in our community totally in limbo in Launchpad because of a glitch, I guess, we had with one of our forms inside of HighLevel. That's not a HighLevel glitch. It was our fault. We had set something up wrong, and it was causing these people who had filled out their forms to get started with their Launchpad services to just get lost in our system. So apparently that was like nearly 10 people here over the last 30 days that there was some real frustration, because we kept on saying to them, hey, you guys got to fill out your forms so we can get started helping you. And they're like, we filled out the forms 3 times, and we're going back and forth and delayed their service delivery. So As with the launch of any new service, as I said earlier, you can expect that there's going to be a lot of learning and there's going to be bumps in the road and all that type of stuff. So I am thrilled to hear, and I believe that that is generally the sentiment from almost all of the participants of Launchpad. But at the same time, we will own up to the fact that we also fumbled on some service delivery for a handful of people, and we are working aggressively to make sure that we patch that up. So let's see here. I've started signing up a handful of customers. Sweet. And slamming cold calls. I love it. I need to maximize time on cold calls and stop doing fulfillment. Any recommendations for guiding my VA on service delivery? Yes. So very, very, well, one, congratulations on getting your customers and congratulations on your dedication to cold calling and getting that done. That's fantastic. And yes, to stay out of the sales cycle of doom, as we refer to it, you have to outsource that service delivery so that you can make sure that you are keeping your sales pipeline full, that you are prioritizing revenue generation at all times. That is the number one job of you as the agency owner. So there's a couple things. So one, just logistically set yourself up so that you can do everything service delivery that you need to do in kind of off hours for selling, so start your service delivery at 5 p.m. and spend the next couple hours doing service delivery, that type of thing. That's not scalable long term, but when you're just getting started, you can make that work. But I would say the simplest thing that you can do is to record on video while you're actually going through the aspects of your service fulfillment. So here's how we set up a new account and go through it. Here's how we transfer a domain and go through it. Once we transfer the domain, we send them this message, yada. Like, just literally document all of that in video recordings. And what we've always done is we have put together a simple Google Doc. And it doesn't have to be a Google Doc. You could, obviously, there's so many other tools these days, but just one simple, it's kind of canvas where you just put all the steps of your service delivery and put links to those videos. So here is onboarding, and here's all the steps in our onboarding and videos for each of them. Here is building a new website. Here is transferring domains. Here is setting up these 3 key workflows with automation to follow up to their prospects, and just breaking those down into categories and putting your recording and documentation there for each of them so that somebody can very quickly and easily go back to that and refer to it. And then I would say, just expect that for the first 30, 60, 90 days in particular, you just need to be having regular calls with whoever that is, regular meetings with whoever that is on your team that's helping you, so that you're reviewing and responding to any questions with them and just making sure that, you have clarity there and they're comfortable doing what they need to do for you. But it's as simple as that, and also as challenging as that, because of course there is that period of time there where you just kind of got to manually push through that stuff. Okay. Trying to understand the difference between the corporate Go HighLevel versus affiliate relationship. I've had 2 customer support Zoom calls with corporate Go HighLevel and went fine. So trying to understand the idea to move to affiliate. Lane, you only need to, so if you are an agency and you are just selling to small businesses, okay, you just need to have an agency account with HighLevel, and then you are setting up your customer accounts as sub accounts on your HighLevel account, and you can have a relationship with HighLevel. Yes, absolutely. You can call up corporate HighLevel and contact their support and ask questions and all that. You can also come to, me and people like me, affiliates, to help, right? We have incentive to help you be successful. In terms of you potentially becoming an affiliate, you only need to do that if you want to be in the business of helping other people start and grow agencies. So I have been working with agencies, training agencies and other service providers that sell to small businesses. So IT service providers in particular. I mean, I've been training in this space for 15 years. Gosh, maybe, I don't know, maybe more than that. So being an affiliate of HighLevel makes perfect natural sense to me because I have an audience of people who are agencies selling and delivering services to small businesses, right? So being an affiliate, you would do if you wanted to, if you had that audience or you wanted to build a business in that audience. If that's not the case and that's not your priority, just sell to small businesses and set up sub accounts for small businesses. So it's just two different markets. I hope that helps you understand it. Awesome. Thank you. I've started. Oh, wait, I already did that one. What's the best way to learn how to get a phone number in HighLevel approved? It seems there's always a snafu that comes up. Is there a straightforward checklist to follow in the community? Yes, Paul, there is. We have that in Launchpad as well. So you can get access to that there. We have that. I think it might be in HighLevel Fast Start as well. If it's not, I can check on that. But yes, and that process is getting better and better and easier all the time. So should be pretty straightforward to get you through that. So watching one of your videos where you discuss not limiting features, just usage, number of users, SMS limit. Yep. How do you determine that usage versus how much credit you give the account? Cool. So Frederick, if we go, it's a good question. Let me go to my agency account and I will show you. So I will say there's not an exact formula on this, and you just to some degree or another have to think about your strategy, because you can get a little bit clever about this if you want, and I'll explain what I mean. So here we are inside of SaaS Configurator. And so what he is asking about here, if we go here to edit details on this plan, and you've got rebilling. So this is all of the usage that he's referring to. So we charge people based on this usage. We also charge people based on, if you go back to the plan details, to pricing, you can charge them on how many people are accessing the system right here. So it's just another form of usage. And then here you can set trials and credits. So credits are essentially credit that you are giving to your customer so that they don't get billed for some of that usage. Okay. So if you have a customer that you signed up for $497 a month and you said, you get email and SMS and all that type of stuff. And then the second that they use your system, they start getting their credit card dinged for even more money. That's probably going to be a pretty bad experience, right? Because they signed up, they would think, geez, I at least get to use the system to some degree before I get charged, right? And so the answer should be yes. Like, you want to give them some ability to use the system and experience the benefits of the system before they go getting charged again. One, just strategically to make sure that the customer is having the best experience with you and is getting hooked on using the system and the benefits of it before they start seeing more money come out of their pocket. And then two, just to be competitive in the marketplace, right? To be competitive in the marketplace, if you look at any other app that's charging for email usage or anything like that, if you're charging $497 a month, your competitors are including usage, at least a good amount of usage in that $497 a month. So if you're going to be competitive in the marketplace, you're going to have to let them use the system to be competitive. So as we look at this screen here again, we can set those credits right here. And so we can put a dollar amount of credits here into the system. So you can put $20, $50, whatever. You can slide this thing back and forth. You can just manually put in a number, whatever you want to do. Okay. So we've got this. This is a $97 plan, and we've got $20 in credits here. So essentially what we are doing is we are saying to HighLevel, hey, we're going to eat those charges. So instead of passing that $20 of service charges to our customer, we're going to eat that. So what you need to understand there then, Frederick, is that is coming out of your margins. Okay, that's coming out of your margins instead of getting passed on to the customer. Now, that's not right or wrong or good or bad. It's just a cost of your service delivery. So if you said, just to keep this simple, $100 and you give $20 in credit, that means you have $80 left over. That's 80% gross margins on your services right there. That's great gross margins. And so there's nothing, again, wrong with adding that credit. You just need to understand, here's the math of my model. Now, I also want to stress that that's not the end of the story, because you have the opportunity to still make plenty of money on top of that $97 if the customer uses the service for more than those $20 in credits. You are going to bill them for that. And because of the resell configuration in the system, you have marked that up by 2, 3, whatever times. So you're making really good margins on all of that additional rebilling that you're doing. So yes, to start with, I am putting the potential out there that my margin on that $90 or $100 customer could be as low as $80, because they could use all of that service exactly to that amount and stop. And then I would have 80% gross margins. The likelihood that they're going to use that exact amount is very, very slim, right? They're probably going to use either less than that. So maybe they only use $10 in credits and then you have 90% gross margins, or they're going to use $50 in services. And so you're going to rebuild them on the 30. And let's say on that 30, you had 67% gross margins. That means you had $10 in profits. So now you're actually adding $10 in profit back into your initial model. So the math on this can go, you can use this in a number of different ways. So it's just something for you to understand and think about strategically. It is my recommendation that you make sure that you have credits in every plan that you're offering, so that customers don't just get billed again right away, and that the more that they're paying you, the more credits they should get. And you should look at similar services to just kind of benchmark what that should be. And so what do I mean by similar services? You could go and look at like MailChimp or something like that, and you could look at their pricing. Let's see, is MailChimp? Yeah, okay. So let me share the screen here. You could look at a company like MailChimp. So this is one of the major players in the marketplace, and say, okay, these guys charge for emails. So send up to 6,000 emails each month. They're also charging you based on contacts, which you could do that in HighLevel. If you go back to that configurator, we have the ability to charge based on contacts as well. I don't personally do this, but you could match MailChimp's exact model here in HighLevel. Okay. But you can see that's up to 6,000 emails a month. If you send more than 6,000 a month, you're going to get charged these overages. And so you can look and see what their overage rate is. You can also see, okay, well, what if my customer had 10,000 contacts? How many emails would MailChimp include? They would include 180,000 emails each month, right? So then you could go back to your configurator and they would start at $230 a month, okay, for that size of account. So if you go back to our configurator here, and you go, okay, if I go over to the rebilling and I look at, my email here, and then I am marking this up 2 times. Okay, and can you guys see that? Do I need to zoom in? Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I can mark this up 2 times, and then it shows you right here what $10 would give. So about 7,145 emails. Okay. So if you wanted to then, match MailChimp exactly, you could use this $10 number to work out a number to get that 180,000 bucks. I mean, to get that 180,000 emails. Okay. I'm not saying that you need to match MailChimp exactly. I'm just saying that this is how you can get an understanding of what the marketplace looks like and how you may want to consider how many credits you're offering in your platform. Okay. So I know, Frederick, that's a long answer, but that is the, that is the explanation of it. I mean, it's math. It's a combination of just understanding the math and what kind of margins you want, and then also understanding your strategy and how you're going to leverage those credits to get your customers active, engaged, using the platform and sticking on the platform for as long as humanly possible, right? And there's going to be some experimentation with that. Okay. Get your phone approved, use Go HighLevel support, jump on a Zoom call. They're awesome. And then Paul said, unfortunately, they guided them wrong in 2 attempts. Yeah. I mean, they're obviously doing their best, but I mean, if we can help you with that, Paul, we're happy to. Tourism equals reputation management, because TripAdvisor help with local island businesses is a huge need, yet it's rare when a Caribbean islands business owners know how to handle it properly. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Huge opportunity. Is this recorded? Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's recorded. It ends up on our YouTube channel immediately afterwards. I got a cat back there. Immediately after the call here, it's up on our YouTube channel. So you can just go and watch this replay and any other replay of any of our previous office hours calls as well. Okay. If you have verified more than 3 times, you need to connect with them and have them remove your restrictions. Frustrating, I know, but I've been there too. Yeah, the whole process can be tough. And you guys got to understand, it's tough for HighLevel too. I mean, they are trying to get approval for literally tens of thousands of numbers at all times, and that's a tough process. Josh and the Launchpad servers are awesome. Great. What's the Launchpad? Frederick, Launchpad is just a name for our internal service that we offer to our customers here, to agencies like you, to help you get launched in your agency or launched in your new HighLevel services. Maybe you already have an agency that's launched, but you're transitioning to offering some new of these more productized services as we teach, to help you get launched with that as quickly as possible. Okay, what our experience is that the agencies that get launched fast, start talking to prospects fast, get their first deal fast, even if none of that is perfect, even if it ends up being, oh shit, I didn't really know what I was doing and I've got to scramble and now fix it for the next customer, those are the agencies that succeed because they get momentum. Okay, massive imperfect action. So Launchpad is our very hands-on attempt to support you in that process as much as possible using everything that we've learned. So we'll help you set up your website. We'll help you set up your sales process. We'll help you design your initial service packages. We'll help make sure that all of that is set up in HighLevel, that you've got your follow-up workflows and calendar booking workflows and all of those things that you need to start selling, and get that done as quickly as possible. And then even support you. I know Josh has told people many times, hey, look, just go get that damn customer. If you need help with the service fulfillment, come back on this call and I will help you personally, right? Because we're just doing everything we can to try and help. Okay, so that's Launchpad. Phone approvals, we onboard new clients. I want to make it as easy as possible. Yeah, for sure. I want to sell to SMBs. I'm better off. Lane says, I want to sell to small businesses. Am I better off leaving corporate Go HighLevel and signing up with you? I really want to just sell and make money, but need love on learning. Well, you can't just leave corporate HighLevel and sign up with us, Lane. You could upgrade your account with us. So, once you have your account with HighLevel, like they know you have your account, so you can't just like go, oh, now I'm Mike's account. But what you can do is just upgrade your account with us. So if you're at the 97, upgrade to the 297 when you're ready, or upgrade to the 497 when you're ready. Do that through us, and you will still get all of our same bonuses and attention. Okay. And I appreciate that. You want the fast track. Yes, absolutely. What I would just tell you, Lane, the most affordable way to get access to me and my team for what you're looking for is just to upgrade your HighLevel account with us, because then you're getting all of the benefits that you need anyway from HighLevel. You will need to upgrade your account in HighLevel to get the benefits, the features that you need to really be effective as an agency. At some point, you're going to have to do that. I recommend that people, as soon as they get their first couple of customers, they upgrade their account. So if you can invest now to do that before you have your first couple of customers, just so you can get as much hands-on attention as you possibly can, great. If you're not in that financial position, I don't want to stress you, and I recommend that you just do what you need to, to get moving, start getting some customer momentum, and then as soon as you're ready to upgrade, come back to us. Okay? Are we selling packages or a la carte services? Always signing packages. Always selling recurring revenue. Okay, recurring revenue service packages. Is there a case where we will do a one-time service? Very rarely, and the only reason why we do it is because it is very, very strategically designed to sell more of those recurring revenue service packages. So that has to be your model. That has to be your model. There is no mathematical way to sell to small businesses and make it work without recurring revenue. Period. End of sentence. Okay. Hey, Colin. Awesome. Good to see you here. I love it. That's good. Good questions. Good questions. Good conversation, gang. That's the end of what I see in here right now, though. So fire in any additional questions that you have. Let me make sure that I didn't miss anything. Yeah, it looks like everything I see. Let me see. What's the average lifetime value, or how many months they last? That's a great question. That's the right question. And I mean, the only answer is it depends. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because agencies completely differ in how good of a job they do with their service delivery and their sales process and everything. And all of that matters in the lifetime value of the customer. And of course, your pricing and your margins. But let's assume that you're selling at the types of prices that I recommend and that the market is proven to accept in small business land, which is, $497, $697, things like that, foot in the door services at $97 a month, first plan at $297 a month, $497, $697, that type of thing. If you are not keeping your customers on average for at least a year, you're in trouble. Okay. So then you could multiply that math out, and you could say if it was $497 for a year, you're looking at a $6,000 lifetime value customer. But again, that is a bare minimum. For me personally, I'm looking at driving my lifetime value of my customers to at least 3 years is my goal. The profitability of a business with 3-year customers versus 1-year customers is not even in the same ballpark. So, and this is all modeled out if you go into HighLevel agency fast start or high leverage agency, and you look at my math of the model training sessions, I model this all out for you so that you can see how this works to make sure that you understand the math of this business, because it is incredibly important that you understand the math of the business. Okay. And there's a YouTube video where I do a presentation where I'm showing the different numbers of this business and showing payback period, lifetime value, all of that up on the YouTube channel, where I go into pretty good depth on this as well. Okay. What's the most popular best service package you're seeing sell right now to SMBs? I would say 2 things, and this is just because of I think this is true, but I also can acknowledge that there's probably other things out there that are selling really, really well. This is just what I'm seeing because it's my community. The chat widget and backing that up with AI. So AI chat widget is fantastic, and free website is fantastic. And those don't have to be just in isolation. So I would say one of my very top customers in the community, agencies here in our community, these guys have gone from like 5,000 a month recurring like 18 months ago to now like over $200,000 a month recurring. So just about 18 months. And they are selling a very, very simple, we're going to set you up with a new website. But that website, just like I teach you all to do in my community, it's not just a website. It's a website with the call tracking number on there, with the AI chat widget on there, with lead capture forms, with all of that integrated. So you are integrating them into the greater marketing tool capabilities of HighLevel through that website as an entry point. But websites, small businesses understand. They understand what a website is. It's important to them because they want to look good. They know that they have a website that's kind of junk, so it's a very understandable, attractive offer. That's the offer. But again, you're incorporating the components of a complete marketing system into that website so that you're pulling them into the other capabilities of HighLevel and your overall marketing system. And that is, like I said, they've gone from $5,000 a month to a couple $100,000 a month and growing very quickly. So hard to argue with that. Is that a new mic around your neck? It's not new. Same thing I've been using, but I think on a lot of these calls, Paul, I either forget to use this mic or I don't have it, right there as well. So right now I just have it hanging off this chain, so it's real close. But that's the DJI microphone system. And I love this microphone system. It's so easy to use. It's so versatile. It's small. This little charging or carrying case is also charging. So anytime you've got your things in there, they're being charged. That's a second microphone. So that if you have a interview or anything like that, you can put that microphone on the other person and it all gets picked up into the receiver. It's a really nice system. I went through all the 6 R's about a year ago, but I haven't been active since. Where should I jump back in? Awesome. Well, welcome to glad to have you back. I would jump right into High Leverage Agency, which incorporates the R6 in depth. And I would just go straight through High Leverage Agency. Are you month to month or annual, et cetera, to upgrade you? You can just do month to month. Yep. If I offer a free website, do I roll with HighLevel templates or WordPress? I would just roll with HighLevel. You can just, it's so, well, I mean, once you have a variety kind of templates set up and your approach to building them, I mean, so simple, so efficient, it's more cost effective for you. You're not gonna have to pay for WordPress hosting. You can just spin these things up so fast. There's no reason why I would use WordPress. What do you think of bundling Go HighLevel with services? Strategies to sell them hosting, reputation, emails, foot in the door offers. The bonus is to access Go HighLevel. If they stop, they only pay for Go HighLevel. Yeah, absolutely, David. I mean, you have to be selling services. You should not, just to be very clear, and I actually just posted a YouTube short on this morning. You should not be selling just the software. You should be selling your marketing services, your marketing systems as a service. If you follow my approach, that system includes your marketing strategy. You're setting up campaigns. You're setting up workflows for them. You are taking your knowledge of how to do effective marketing and building that into HighLevel for them. Okay, that is your service offering. Okay, the tools, the technology are just an aspect of that service delivery. Okay, just one component of it. I mean, theoretically, HighLevel could have some amazing competitor come along tomorrow that for some reason is better. You could take out HighLevel and put in the new technology and still keep that customer, still be delivering that overall umbrella of services, just using different technology now. That is so critical to understand. In fact, the YouTube short that I posted, the title of it is The Guaranteed Way to Fail with HighLevel. If you just sell the software, you are going to fail. Why? It's a pure commodity at this point. Every agency in the world has access to the same software as you do. So you have zero differentiation, zero competitive value, right? So you cannot sell just the software and expect to survive. You have got to sell services on top of that. And then yes, if for some reason they said, hey, we want to cancel, and you say, well, what are you going to do? I mean, you've got all your customers in the CRM, that you use and everything. You can just pay for the software, and then we won't do these other things for you. So yes, you can use that as a downgrade. It's a brilliant downgrade. And that's one of the most important aspects of offering the technology as part of your service, is that you have that downgrade protection. It's hard for them to go away entirely. That's awesome. Nice. Yeah, they're great. How much human you stay in touch with 500 to 2,000 month clients to strengthen retention? Do I visit them face to face? No. I mean, if you are, Lane, I say that so adamantly, no. If you're just getting started and you want to visit customers face to face for a while so that you can really have the confidence of understanding who you're working with and how your services are impacting them and all that good stuff, you can do that. Okay. And if your market is just going to be hyper local, so if I just said, hey, I'm only selling in San Diego, then sure, include personal touch like that into your service delivery strategy. Not as a core part of the service delivery, but as almost more like a marketing event, right? I'm going to make sure I get around and say hi and shake hands to these most valuable customers at least once a quarter, and just stop in and say hi. Because why not? You're local. But in terms of scalability and profitability of service delivery, you cannot base your service delivery on having to go in person. Okay, it is absolutely not possible from a cost effectiveness perspective. Okay, particularly, I mean, if you're charging the $497 a month, something like that, the math will never work out for you to get in your car and drive to a customer. If you understand the value of your time and the value of your car and all that, and you add all that math together, it will never make mathematical sense. Theoretically, and let me explain this. Theoretically, it doesn't make any sense for my team to get on these one-on-one hand-holding calls with you guys in Launchpad, right? The math of doing that for any one of you makes no sense. But because we have a big enough customer base, the high touch of doing that and doing it for those of you who need it at that time and doing it in a scalable way, it's still just screen share and over the phone and stuff like that. We're not, investing in going and sitting in your office, but doing that adds so much value to the overall benefit of our service that then it does make sense. So this is like, who gets this better than anybody that's a famous person. And this is one of the reasons why she blew up so successfully is Taylor Swift. Okay, Taylor Swift. Gary Vee has talked about this many times. This is who I learned it from. Taylor Swift will do the unscalable things to create crazy excitement in her audience. So as an example, Taylor Swift gets invited to 1 million little girls' birthday parties every year, right? Obviously, Taylor Swift cannot afford to go to, well, she actually probably could afford, but it makes no sense for her to go to 1 million little girls' birthday parties. But what she will do is once every few months, she will show up at a little girl's birthday party. She'll show up at somebody's wedding, right? And make a big scene of it, media, social media, all that stuff. She is doing an unscalable thing because the perceived benefit of that to the rest of her audience is so high that it makes people love her and want her even more. If you apply that same mindset and you're like, you know what? every 3 months, we're going to make sure we stop in at this restaurant and we're going to capture some of it, footage for social media. And, hey, yeah, we went and visited our customer, blah, blah. And we talked to them about how they've generated 1,000 new reviews over the last 3 months. Then you're being smart, you're being strategic, and it makes sense. Okay. Think of a website reviews, email and SMS marketing promotion calendar for salons and spas. That's awesome. For around $300 a month, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a sweet spot service that will do very, very well. What's up, Matt Gordon? Good to see you, sir. Plan on running short videos to build an audience for retargeting, very top of funnel type videos to sort out the people who care about marketing. Can I get feedback on a 35-second video? Yes, absolutely. For sure. Lane says, I used to sell yellow pages, radio, digital back in the day. Awesome. So you have great background to be able to be successful at this, Lane. So trying to see path that fast with charms and smiles, which is why I asked about face-to-face. Like, do I want 5, 10K clients or 50 clients at 500 a month? Okay. There may be a short-term answer and a long-term answer to this, Lane. The long-term answer is you want 50 clients at $500 a month, and then you want 500 clients at $500 a month, okay? And we call those customers, not clients, because 10K, it is a client. And what I mean by that is when they pay you 10K, you got to do a little bit of hand-holding and bending over backwards to make them happy. At $500 a month, they are accessing a scalable service with very clearly defined boundaries. They have ways of contacting you through group calls like this, and support emails like we have, but you don't get Mike Cooch's personal cell phone number. You don't get me run into your office and expecting I'm going to jump through hoops to help you build your business, at $297 a month. It doesn't make sense. It's not scalable. So I would personally, and I've designed my entire business and life around this for the last 20 years, have customers, not clients, and have hundreds or thousands of them paying me $297 a month instead of having 50 of them paying me $20,000 a month. And now I have 50 bosses that I have to bend over backwards for. I've had to build this team of other people that have to run around bending over backwards for those clients. It is a terrible business model and a terrible lifestyle. Okay. Lane, it worked in the Yellow Pages radio, right? Because they have assets. Okay, and so this is my assets over agency philosophy. To sell a $10,000 package for the Yellow Pages, all you got to do is sell it, and then the service delivery is almost nothing. There's almost no cost to it at all. We print up a freaking ad in the Yellow Pages. Period, end of sentence. You're done for the year, right? Radio, we sell an ad campaign. We run that thing 1 million times on the radio. The cost and effort of the service delivery is almost non-existent. So that's why you can sell that $10,000 package and then just go on right to the next one. In a service business, that is not the case, okay? So as much as possible, we want to build assets over agency, and we do that by leveraging the technology of HighLevel, leveraging proven campaigns that we develop, things like that, and selling it as more of an asset. They're getting access to an asset. You are getting access to my marketing system. You are not getting access to me to bend over backwards as a marketing guru. You're not getting access to Mike the consultant. You're getting access to my $497 a month proprietary system that I have developed specifically for salons. That includes these 3 lead capture processes that are proven, this follow-up sequence that's proven, this monthly reminder campaign that's proven. And I have all of that set up. I turn it on for you and it runs on autopilot to grow your business. And if you ever stop paying me, that system gets turned off because you are paying for access to a system. Okay. So critical that you understand the difference between that, and your life will be dramatically better if you take that approach and bring on, 500 customers at $500 a month. Now, I said there may be a short-term and long-term. Lane, for cash purposes, you may need to sell some of those bigger deals in the beginning to get cash flow to survive on. What I recommend that you do, though, and I teach this in my programs, is instead of selling some custom things so you can get more cash up front, and then that takes up all of your time in service delivery, just sell your marketing system. It's a $500 marketing system. Just sell it as an annual prepay. So it's $500 a month. It's $6,000, but it's actually $5,000 for the year in advance. You get a discount. Okay. Sell it as an annual prepay to get that cash up front so that you can get those bigger cash hits. Okay. Difficult thing has been niching down. I have clients, different industries, long-time retention, nationwide. Niching has been tough. Any suggestions? David, yeah, I mean, the suggestion is honestly, you just need to decide and just go for it. When you say the difficult thing has been niching down, the difficult thing has been making a decision, right? So nobody can answer that for you. My recommendation, since you have a variety of industries that you worked with and that you understand, is that you look at two things. One, which one do I seem to be able to add the most value to? It feels kind of easiest to add value to them, or they're getting great success. And I said two things, but I'm going to add a few things. Two, how is that industry doing? Is it growing? Is it healthy? Are there going to be more opportunities over the next 5 years versus less? And then three, which of these customers do you actually enjoy working with? Because if you're going to niche down, you're going to focus on that niche, you want to try and become a voice in that niche, a leader, an expert. And that means that you're going to have a lot of interaction with them and stuff like that. So pick a group that you actually enjoy working with and you can get pretty obsessed about. Creating boundaries. How do you recommend building them out when it comes to contacting us once launch? Super straightforward. So you tell the customer that we call it throwing it over the wall. So from sales to service delivery. And we say there's a wall in between our sales team and our service delivery. It's not, obviously they communicate, our sales and service delivery communicates, but sales job is to sell and service delivery's job is to take care of customers. So we tell our customers when they're coming on board, the conversation goes, hey, hey, Bob, obviously up until this point, the far majority of the communication has been with me, but I understand, I'm sure you understand, my job is to sell. So I'm out hunting for new customers all the time. That gets all of my time and attention. Now that you are a customer, we have an amazing service delivery team. And the way to get in touch with that service delivery team is X. And we tell them how to get in touch with that service delivery team. And we tell them from this point forward, essentially any communication that you have with our team should be through them. They're designed to get back to you quickly. They're designed to be tracking the issues at your company. That's their job. That's not my job, right? So customers get that. Every professional organization works that way. Every once in a while, those customers will reach back out to their salesperson because they feel like they had whatever personal relationship with them. And so that salesperson just needs to be disciplined about making sure that they're driving them back to the appropriate channels. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the feedback. Been studying what you've been preaching and have seen the stack. Kai, oh yeah, awesome. Nice. I love it. Yes, I think that's a great opportunity. Yeah, tree trimmers and stuff like that. Absolutely. Those are great ones. Fire. Thank you. Matt Gordon, my man. How's it going, sir?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Well, nice to be seen by you. So I have been trying to drop this link in, and it's some sort of auto moderation where I can't, like it keeps deleting it. So
okay.
it's just a YouTube link to a short.
You want to just share your screen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. Yeah, just share your screen and we can try it that way. And if not, send it to me in the community and I'll take a look.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Share screen. Yeah. And there you go. Can you see that?
Yep, adding it to the stage right now. Oop, I have to remove mine apparently first. There we go. Got it.
Oops, that's not cool. All right, well, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yep. It's not playing, though. The video is not playing on our end, just, you know.
Are you good there?
How do I tell him to check the comments? There we go.
Terrible. Okay. All right. Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Missed calls don't just leave your jobs. They take away your choices. When calls are inconsistent, everything feels different. You take the time, even if it's another you hesitate to express this. But we but it changes everything. Never realized how
I think it's great.
Okay. So let me. All right. So if I can stop sharing screen and just get back to StreamYard.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
And I'm not hearing you. Let me turn on my.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Test, test.
I hear you.
Okay, good. Cool. I think it looks great. I think you're touching on, you know, key messages.
Yes.
I like the delivery, all that stuff. I think it looks great. I think, as always, going back to my rant that I did at the beginning of this, expect that, you know, that might not be the one that perfectly resonates with people. And then you've got to take those messages and try it again in a slightly different way and, you know, create a slightly different video and stuff like that. So just expect that that's just an ongoing part of the game. But I like what you've got there. I would absolutely personally run with that for my business and get it out there and then keep going. Sounds like he might not be really hearing me. You bet. You bet. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove it because it seems like there's some audio disconnect or something there, or delay or whatever. So Matt, yes, you can watch my replay there and make sure that you catch my feedback, but I think it's great. I think for everybody else watching, that's a perfect example of type of content that you can put together quickly. And man, you can put together that kind of content so quickly now using some of the AI tools, or hire an influencer to create something like that for you. Like it's very easy and affordable. So I think that's awesome though. The messaging, I think was great. And again, you're probably just going to have to experiment with some different, you know, formats of that over time and just keep it up to date and keep it fresh. Lane says, if I upgrade to $497 a month with you, can I sell big and your team one way or another, paid or not, helps me implement deliverable build outs? Yes, Lane, but let's be very, very clear here and very clear to everybody else. The way that we operate here, we are services that scale. We eat our own dog food. So in other words, if you come to us and you go, oh, I sold this thing and it's this one-off thing and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I need you guys to build us a thing, and we would say, no, not at all. That's not how we work. And you can post in HighLevel and ask for somebody who's very familiar with HighLevel to help you for whatever dollars an hour, you know, because there's a whole community of those people out there, Lane. So very easy for you to find somebody who's very skilled with HighLevel who will do those kinds of custom things for you. When you sign up for us, with us, if you follow our lead, we're going to show you these are the very specific approaches that you should take to service plans and how you set them up and deliver them. And so then if you go out and you sell one of those and you come to us and you say, hey guys, I sold this and I'm hoping you can help me put together the workflow the way you said, because I gave it a try and I've got questions about it, or my team has questions about it. Absolutely, we can help you with that. Okay. So very important that you understand the difference. If you're coming to us with just custom willy-nilly stuff, the answer is no. if you're following our program and our blueprints and you come to us and you say, hey, I sold this, but I'm having a hard time getting it, absolutely, we will help you. We will help you. We will teach a man to fish. So in other words, if you come to us and go, oh, I just sold this customer, go guys, here, Launchpad team, go ahead, run with it. No, no, we will not do that. It is your business. You need to be developing your team, your service delivery capabilities. And then if you need some help because you got stuck at something wasn't clear, whatever, then absolutely, we will help you with that. Okay. But most importantly, Lane, we are giving you an approach to packaging and selling your services that you should follow. If you're picking up what we're laying down here. Okay. Awesome, everybody. We have been here an hour and a half. It is time for me to run. It's time for you guys to run as well and get back to your Friday. I hope that this was helpful for you. I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you being a part of my community and your business as always. Thank you. I hope that some of this was valuable for you. Got some value out of it. And I hope you have a great rest of your Friday, great weekend. Get out there, get after it. We have these calls every week. So I look forward to seeing you on a future call. Let's see. Next Friday is Valentine's Day weekend though. And I know Friday, I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to be hopping in the car to do a little road trip for Valentine's Day weekend. So I've got to look at that. I may be rescheduling the call, maybe to Thursday or something. So just keep an eye on the calendar, but we will make sure and get to you. And then if you have any questions in between now and then, please post them in our online community and my team and I are in there answering questions. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Friday and we will talk to you real soon. Awesome. Thank you, Frederick. I appreciate it. That's right. Get it done. What's up, Dawson? Good to see you, bud. Awesome, everybody. Take care.